Alrighty. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good whenever you're watching this. Here is us going over the review. Oh wait, let me rephrase that. Here is me going over the review. Hopefully you will pause, you will copy down whatever you need to, make sure you're as prepared for this test as possible. Those of you that are watching this, awesome, thank you, good job. Here's a secret. On the test, do not let anybody know this. What should I have you write? I'll think about it. You might need to listen to the rest of this later on. Anyways, so let's start off with this. We want to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel lines have the same slope, whereas perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocals. So on a question like, say, number 1 and 2, when I'm asking for the slope, actually I might just be asking for the slope, but the idea is that if I know that the slope of a line is 3 on the original line, and then I need to know that the new line, since it's parallel, will have a slope of 3 also. So that means if I was looking for an equation, I could have something that could say y equals 3x plus 2 or anything like that. Now for my pre-AP class, keep in mind, I will probably put it in different, say, formats. So it'll be like, it could be in point slope, it could be in slope intercept, it could be in standard form. So keep that in mind. Now, perpendicular, the original equation is negative 2 over 3. So, if I want to have perpendicular, I need to make sure I have the opposite, which would be a positive, and then do the reciprocal, which would be 3 over 2. Then I would look for a function that might be, say, 3 over 2x plus or minus whatever. And again, I could also say there that it would be... for my pre-AP classes, they could be in standard or point slope form. Now, the next ones, they want you to start working from there. Keep in mind that if you take the negative x over the y, you get a slope when it's given to you in standard form. So notice there I got negative 1 over a negative 3. Then that becomes 1 over 3. Since I want something perpendicular, I need to flip that and make it 3 over 1. Negative 3 over 1, and so I can go from there. Now, because 0, 6, if you were to graph that point, you would see it's on the y-axis, which means that's the y-intercept. So all I got to do is just say y equals negative 3x plus 6, and that'd be done. But if I had something like the next one, number 4, where it's negative 1, 2, I have to go to point slope form. Y minus equals x minus, and then again you would have the negative 2 minus like that. Multiply, 2 times x becomes, and 2 times y, 2 times 1 is 2. Add 2 to both sides and you get y is equal to 2x plus 4. So this is what and I'm still thinking about what I want to do for it. So these are, again, trying to find the slope of parallel and perpendicular lines. And again, nothing overly that difficult. Should be. So let's look at the next ones. You can see here, we want to find the slope-intercept form of this, the equation of the line that passes through 5, negative 3, and it's parallel to x plus 5y. That means the slope of the original equation would be negative 1 over x, negative the x over the y. Parallel would be the same thing. So now I'm going to go through the point slope form. Y with y, x with x, slope in the middle. Distribute, and you would end up with y plus 3 equals negative 1/5 x plus 1. Subtract 3, and you end up with minus 2. Alright, so the next one, I need to find the slope-intercept form of an equation line that passes through 2, negative 1, and is perpendicular to 1/2 x minus 4. 1/2 perpendicular with that would be negative 2. Plug in the numbers for the formula. Y with y, x with x, slope in the middle. And then you would end up with 2x minus negative 2x plus 4. Subtract 1, you should end up with 3. Alright. So that's those type of problems. Expect, like, say maybe 3, maybe 4 problems of that. At the most I'll probably do is like 4 problems of each type, and that way I'll have like 12 problems. But we'll see. The next part, you need to make sure you have all of that. It is in the notes from before when we talked about linear transformations, but I would pause this video so you can make sure you've got all that copied. So I'm pausing. 3, 2, 1, moving on. Now, because of the 3 that's in front, that means that if I look, if that's in front of the parentheses or in front of the F1, I should write that as F1. So I'll erase this a little bit. Okay, I hit pause, and I'm not exactly sure when I hit pause, so oops. I want to say I hit pause here when I just told you that I was going to pause for this, getting the notes. So let's make sure I've got all this to go over. Again, because of the 3, there's a vertical stretch by a factor of 3 because it's in the front. And the -4, which is outside the parentheses, is a vertical shift down 4. So in front, it's a stretch. In back, it's up or down. And notice here how, like I'm telling you, up or down. The reflection part and all that. Next one, because the negative in front, it's a reflection. The 1/2 means there's a vertical compression. And the +2 is inside the parentheses, which means there's a horizontal shift. And in this case, that is a horizontal shift to the left. So you want to make sure you would select or find something that would give you a horizontal shift to the left. Okay, the next one is reflection, again, because of the negative. And then the +4 is on the outside, so that would tell me a vertical shift up 4. Number 10, there's a negative, so that's a reflection. The 2 is a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. And the +3 would tell me I'm doing a horizontal shift to the left 3. Now all that's doing is following the notes based on what we've got there. If you have any questions on those, make sure you come by and ask. On 11 and 12, if you're a CP student, they will be bonuses. But if you're a pre-AP student, be prepared that I'm going to ask questions. You're going to get a question about this. So what that is asking is to write a function that would fit. And so if you do this, you're saying that there is an F2 x equals F1 of x, and you're going to say, okay, the transformation's a vertical stretch by 4 means I'm going to put the 4 in front. Vertical shift means that's outside the parentheses, and since it's down 3, I'm going to put -3, and I'm done. You look at this one, it's also saying the same thing because of the negative, the reflection. It says reflection, so I'm going to put a negative. Then it's like, say, a compression of 2/3. That's going to be in front, 2/3. And then a vertical shift up 4 would be +4. Notice that's outside the parentheses. On problems like 13 and 14, you're expected to plug the points into the x and y and see which ones would tell you the left is whatever the inequality is telling you to the right. So in this case, I'm trying to see if, like, say, 3 times 4 plus 3 is greater than 6, which it is. But if I do it with the -2 and 4, I don't get an answer greater than 6, nor do I with -5 and -3. But I do with the 3, -3, because 3 times 3 minus 3 is 6, which is equal to, greater than or equal to, 6. So those 2 points work. Same thing for 14. I'm just plugging them in, seeing which numbers will give me the left greater than the right, which doesn't happen until only the second one. The second one is going to be there. Now keep in mind, on the test, you're going to have to choose multiple ones that are correct. So make sure you check every single point. Alright, graphing, I don't think y'all should have a problem with. Just make sure that you realize when it should be broken, when it should be, say, and shaded up, or when it should be solid and shaded down. Y-intercepts, make sure you can use the X and Y intercept. Keep in mind if there's a negative in front of the Y, it's going to shade in the opposite direction. Okay? And then 7 over -4, start at +5, go down 7, 4 to the right. And if for some reason your x or y intercepts cannot fit on the coordinate plane, you need to find the slope by doing the negative x over y. And then, again, make sure you shade correctly, because that was a minus y. It should have been shaded above, which means like to the left. Alright, so that covers this pretty much. That's it right there. I think this is one of the shortest reviews I've ever, say, gone over. I hopefully got everything, because I hope I didn't miss anything, because when I accidentally pressed pause, I was just being kind of crazy or silly or whatever. I will tell you what. For 5 extra points, even though you can earn more points through Khan Academy, 5 extra points, if you can show me a completed review. No. I'll do this. On your test, write thank you. And that will be your, I will give you 5 extra points for listening to the video and hopefully catching all that. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoy this video.